Assalamu alaikum. How are you? We have discussed a lot of topics. Our main topic is business communication. In business communication, we have studied a lot of topics on theory base and as well as on some practical ground base. We have seen that how different letters are written, how report writing is done, how employment communication is made. We have also discussed some aspects of oral communication, presentation, negotiation, etc. So, we have covered many topics. I don't say that there are no more topics in this subject. It's a very vast field. And you have to communicate both in writing and orally at different occasions. And all these occasions demand for the skill that we have tried to show you and we have tried to help you master it. Since this is your last, this phase of your career, academic career, takes you toward the end of your degree program. When you reach this stage, you certainly come across a situation. All your previous career and your graduate program and your postgraduate program, when you are dealing with different topics, you were just simply getting along with it because you had very clear and structured method. You were studying from different books, maybe some book prescribed as the main book and other as helping books. But whatever you were supposed to do, you were supposed to discuss some specific things, some things which were previously prescribed. And there were always your tutors, your teachers, your professors to help you out in any problem whenever you face one. But towards the end of your degree program, you come across a situation in which it is only you who have to do something. Here I mean preparing a research paper or a thesis. When we are dealing with normal structured type of education, we feel that it's difficult. Though we have the books before us and the only thing that we have to do is to learn certain topics. But when you come to this stage of your career, you are all of a sudden face difficulties. In all the previous examination, you were supposed to produce in your examination from some material that you learned during the session. Maybe the teacher or your professor tried to test you in some difficult way, but so far as the things were concerned, they were the same thing that were done with you throughout the whole session or the course by your teachers. But here you are supposed to write a research paper and you don't have to produce anything from any previously learned material. The books are going to be before you. What you have to do is you have to make some research. This research is very different from other type of examinations. As I just said, there you had some specific course outline, but here you have to think of something specific which you could prove or you could refute. So this is the most difficult stage of your academic career, and here you have to spend a lot of time. Writing thesis seems very easy. Most of the students in the first stage or before embarking on this difficult task think that they can do it very easily. But when they practically start this, they find it a hard nut to crack, a very difficult job. So whenever there is a difficult job, it has to be done step by step. And first of all, you need to understand this whole phenomenon. You must know that what it is exactly. So if you know it exactly what it is, it can certainly help you in doing successfully. So whenever you have a problem, you just sort it out that how the thing is done, and you do it. Similarly, when you come across this stage of your career, here again you have to be cool for some moment and think, what is a thesis? How to write it? What is the purpose? What are you going to do during this whole period, etc., etc. So from today and till the, I think, last or the one before the last lecture, we'll be discussing thesis writing. It requires strong understanding. First of all, you need to understand what is a thesis, what is a research paper, what is a dissertation. If you understand all these things, you may be writing for this postgraduate program, or maybe writing for your further MPhil or PhD program. You are going to encounter same things. So we are going to discuss this topic in detail. The very first thing that you need to know whenever you come to this stage, you need to know that what is a thesis. So we call it a thinking about it stage. A thinking about it stage. In thinking about it stage, you just carry out certain exercises, or you answer certain question. You put before yourself certain guidelines. It is not the beginning of thesis writing, but it in fact comes in the preliminary stages. And this stage is very important. Remember that most of the people find themselves in trouble, as I just said. Why? Because they take things very easily. They think that writing thesis is not a big deal, because here you have to read 5, 10, 20 books, sources, and you can easily explain it. You will see, as we'll be discussing, that it is the most difficult task. So the very first thing is thinking about it. So you have to think that how you have to deal with it. As I just said, because here it is only you. No supervisor, no teacher, or no any external help can help you. Obviously, I'm going to emphasize on the fact that you are not going to present something plagiarized, some work on somebody else. It's going to be your work. You have to bring a logic into it. You are picking things from different sources that suit your topic, and then you are going to bring coherence into these elements and going to present whatever conclusion you have made, whether in favor or against your topic. Remember that the first thing to start with is to be inclusive with your thinking. Whenever you are going to think about your thesis, you're going to have a lot of ideas. You are thinking over different ideas. Don't try to eliminate your ideas too quickly. Whatever comes to your mind, just store it, because they are going to help you in refining your topic. So be inclusive with your thinking. Build on your ideas and see how many different research projects you can identify. So when you will have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 topics, you will build on these topics different ideas, and they will tell you that how many projects are possible and how many are not possible. So the very first thing in the preliminary stage, in the thinking about it stage, is to be inclusive with your ideas. Try to be creative. I mean, you must think that to your knowledge, which about some topic which is not previously discussed. So you have to present something that is readable, that is going to add something new to your knowledge and to the knowledge of the people who are going to examine you, or the people who are going to read you. This is very important. So you must always try to be creative. So think about it, be inclusive with it, try to be creative. Your creation vein must be alive at this point of your career. Write down your ideas. Whenever we are thinking over an idea, we have a flux of thoughts. Different ideas come to us, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sometimes we think that this is not important, and we just rule out the ideas within our own mind. Don't do this. Whatever comes, thesis writing, start from this stage. Don't think that you will write things at a later stage when you are practically dealing with the structure of the thesis. Don't think this. Go with it from the beginning. So start writing down your ideas. They are going to help you. This will allow you to revisit an idea later on. Maybe you have 5, 6, 7 ideas and you start working on one idea, but later on you find that it's not worth working and you switch over to the next. If you have written, it will be very helpful for you to choose and pick up one very easily. Otherwise you will again go to the previous stage. Don't take these instructions non-seriously. These are very important. Your thesis writing actually starts from the day you are assigned a work and you put a little stress on your mind and you start thinking about some topic, what topic you are going to choose. Maybe at one stage you pick up one idea and later on you just modify. It happens with most of research. So don't think that something is not worth writing. Whatever comes to your mind in this thinking about it stage, just take it down. You will see that the thing is going to be helpful in your later days. You must have this feeling that these ideas are going to help you. So be inclusive with your thinking and write down all the ideas that come to your mind. Try not to be overly influenced at this stage by what you feel others expect from you. This is a very psychological point. Sometimes we feel that if we take this thing, others, maybe our teacher, maybe our colleagues, may not like it. Don't be influenced by these external thoughts at this stage. Whatever comes to your mind, just take it down and think over it. Sometimes we feel that we have a certain image and by doing on a certain topic, we may not be able to come up to that image or the expectation of the people. Don't go for that. Just think your way, your topic. It's going to be you. No one else. Remember that your topic is not going to take you to any international fame. If you will think this way, you won't be able to decide on any topic. You have to be humble at this stage. You have to see that what idea, what topic, what thought comes to your mind, and you feel that it's a feasible one, and when you make research, you find that you can work on it, you can get along with this topic. So the next thing in this preliminary stages, that never be influenced by others, by your supervisor, your colleague, or anyone else. Though in some cases, especially at postgraduate level or even graduate level, we are sometimes given topics by our teacher. That's something else. But even then, you can talk with your teachers that you would like to work at this aspect of the thesis. So keep these things in your mind. Be realistic about time that you are willing to commit to research project. I mean, it's applicable more to the people who are going for their MPhil or PhD thesis, but even at your this stage, your postgraduate stage, don't think that the day you've been assigned a topic, you should segregate yourselves, you should separate yourself from the rest of the people, go to the libraries and just start doing research. This is not the time when you start doing it. This is the preliminary stage. So you need time, you need some place, some seclusion to write this when you are practically come to the writing stage. So at this stage, it's better not to separate yourself from the rest of the company. But one thing is there, that keep thinking, keep working, keep consulting books, material from the libraries, through net, etc. The most you can do is that you can prepare a small preliminary research study that can be very helpful to you at this stage. It will certainly tell you that how does a research go. You can just devise some questions, some 8, 12, 10, 12 question, and you can have answer, and then you can make a false presentation, research paper of this, which can be very helpful. So the most important thing in the think about it stage is that you make yourself familiar with the study. Then you come to the next step, and that is preparing the proposal. So proposal has everything. Here you make an introduction to your topic, you make references, citation of your literature review, you discuss the method that you are going to adopt in your research, and your likely hypothesis or research question or rationale or background of the topic and the study. So this is going to be a mini thesis. It's better that before you start writing your thesis, read through someone else's research proposal or synopsis. That can be very helpful. Just see the way the synopsis or proposal is divided into different sections, the way its prefatory parts are given, the way the main body of the synopsis is given, and the conclusion, the format. Make yourself aware with all these aspects. So looking at someone else's research proposal can be very helpful. So you will come to know how has the other proposal been organized, what are the headings that have been used, does the other proposal seem clear? Does it seem to suggest that writer knows the subject area? So the whole reading of the proposal of someone else is going to give you immense understanding of your own proposal. So it's very helpful when you read your own proposal. Make sure your proposal has a comprehensive review of the literature indicated. So you have picked up a topic. Most of the people, when they pick up a topic, think that so far as the literature review is concerned, they will do it when they will start doing their dissertation. But when they actually started, they get confused. So it's very important that you make your literature review before you're starting your research paper or thesis. It will certainly give clarity to you, and the rationale behind literature review consists of one argument with two lines of analysis. Number one, this research is needed, and number two, the methodology I have chosen is most appropriate for the question that is being asked. So you see that if you know this very thing, number one, your research is needed and the methodology you have chosen is appropriate, it will certainly help you. I mean, if I say that half the work is done, I won't be wrong. Because most of the people, when they start their research paper, they always put it off. It's very difficult. You have to, you have an idea, a topic, and you think that you can defend that topic, you can prove that topic, or you can refute that topic without even making a research into it. It's very important, as I just said earlier, that you make an extensive, comprehensive study of your topic. So more and more study will help you in making your research clear, topic clear. A good proposal should consist of 3 chapters of the dissertation, of your thesis. It should begin with the statement of the problem, background, rationale, hypothesis, or any background information. So all these things are going to form the first chapter, that is introduction of your dissertation. And then comes the research review chapter. This is the second chapter of your dissertation. So in your synopsis, you will be making this chapter your second chapter, in which you are going to discuss the research of the literature that you have made. And then is the third chapter. Third chapter, of course, is of defining your research methodology. I'm not yet discussed anything about research methodology. What is it? How do we make this research? So we will discuss these things separately. I'm not emphasizing on each and every thing or terms that I'm using. I've used hypothesis, rationale, and so on, and literature review or other terms which I have not yet explained, but you are going to be familiar with these very soon. What I want is at this point is to make you familiar with a research paper, what things you are supposed to do when you are going to do it. So your synopsis or your proposal is the brief study of your later on complete dissertation. So proposal or synopsis, what is it, what is a proposal, we have discussed separately, and especially when we were discussing long and short reports, we discussed this, what is a synopsis, what it has, etc. So almost the things are the same, but we will still throw some light on it. Remember that it should be written in a future tense. Since it's your proposal and you are going to tell the reader, your supervisor, that you are going to prove this, so this is going to be in future tense. You will write sentences like this: this is what I would like to do. So like to do, not you have done. And when this synopsis turns into dissertation or your thesis, the same sentence, this is what I would like to do, changes in this is what I did. So you can see the difference. When you say this is what I would like to do, mean that you still have to do things. And when you say what I've did, it means that you have completed the job. So be very particular about this. Sometimes people writing these papers get confused with tense, the tense they use. It's very important that you must have a good understanding of the tense, time and tense, that how do we describe future action in present, in which tense. So make yourself familiar with these grammatical aspects. These are very important. If you make mistake, you are going to confuse things. So remember that when you are going to write your proposal, it's going to be in future tense. I mean action that are to take place in future. And when the same proposal turns into the thesis, it is going to be in the past, because you have to show at that stage that you have completed the job. So all these three topics which I just said of the introduction, literature review and methodology are going to be the 3 chapters of your dissertation. Obviously they will increase in amount and information. You'll see that by and by you will gather more and more information, and you will keep adding them into these chapters. So never think that this synopsis is not important. Give time to it, give attention to it, and take it as if it were your real task. Focus your research very specifically. Don't try to have your research cover too broad an area. You must pinpoint an area. For example, if you choose a topic, how does the system of tax work in Pakistan? It's going to be a too broad an area. And the moment you start working on this topic, you are going to feel that you have put yourself into hot water. You are in trouble. I mean, you may make it more precise by bringing it to any one industry or one city or one area. So never go for these topics which are very broad. Just narrow down your topic. So that's why we discuss in the beginning of the lecture that you must think about different topics. So by and by you narrow down your options into one final topic. Often the researcher finds that what he or she originally thought to be a good research project turns out to be really a group of research projects. It happens. In the beginning, you think that this is one project and you are going to work on it. But by the passage of time, as the time passes, you feel that it's not one project, it's just a group of projects. So do one project for yourself and for your dissertation, and save other for your future or later in your career. This happens. I mean, most of the people, there are very few people, I say few people, who reach the same destination that they set in the beginning. I mean that who just remain with their one topic that they started with. Most of the time we just branch off the track and whatnot. So don't try to solve all of the problem in one research project. One research problem should discuss one question, one problem, one hypothesis. It may prove the topic or it may refute the topic, but it should be one project and one topic. Include a title on your proposal. When you are doing a proposal, don't think that it does not need any title. Title is very important. We'll pay some time over the title. Title, in fact, is the first thing to help the reader begin to understand the nature of your work. It tells the reader that what is the nature of your problem. Work on your title early in the process and revisit it often. It's easy for reader to identify those proposals where the title has been focused upon the student. So don't make your titles very long. They should be readable, eye-catching. They should attract the attention of your reader. So be very particular about titles. Spend some time over your title. After you have thought of the idea of your project, you should spend some time over your title. So this is what we discuss in the think about it stage. This stage is a very important stage. It includes preparing proposal, and preparing proposal is also a practical deal, a practical job. This is going to help you in your later work when you are involved with your thesis. So at this stage we try to discuss a very important question that we've been that we have used many times in our discussion, but we have not explained it. We started with our lecture with this: writing research paper or thesis or dissertation. Most important word or keyword among all these is research. So it's very important that you must understand what is research, because your understanding of a dissertation depends on your understanding of this very term research. If it is just selecting a topic, identifying the object of your study plan and design a suitable methodology, devise research instrument, negotiate access to institution material and people, collect analysis and present information finally, or something else. So far as research is concerned, one learns how to do research by actually doing it, which is a great deal. But let's define the word research. As I just said, different people define it differently. For example, it can be defined as that research is a formal document, or research is knowing a subject thoroughly, or expression of one's undertaking about a certain topic, or result of one's intellectual curiosity, or analysis and synthesis of different resources, reasonable bias-free conclusion. So these are different definition of the word research. Every scholar has tried to define this word in his own way. For example, Howard and Sharp say seeking through methodical processes to add one's own body of knowing and hopefully to that of other by discovering of non-trivial facts and insight. Similarly, Drew says research is conducted to solve problems and expand knowledge. Research is a systematic way of asking question, a systematic method of inquiry. So we see that different people have defined this word in different ways. For some, it's just knowing something new, something. For some, it is analysis or synthesis. It is seeking some conclusion. So we find the word research being used in two senses. Number one, the outcome of research is the establishment, publicizing or utilization of something that somebody, not the researcher or the person commissioning it, already knows. So according to this first sense, it is the outcome of something. In its second sense, the outcome of knowledge that nobody had before. So it can be, in first sense it is the discovery, and in the second sense it is knowing something new which is not known to the researcher or the person who commissioned the person to do the research. These two senses of the word research are used in different areas. It is very important that you must know that which type of research you are going to make. Are you going to discover something new, or you are just going to study or going to establish some outcome? This is very important. Which type of research you are going to make, or you are required to make. To have a better understanding of this topic, it's better that we must understand this research that is being used in different fields, different areas. For example, let's take fiction. A novelist thinks that he needs to make a research, but is it the type of research that you are also required in your academic areas, or is it something else? We all know that when a novelist makes this type of research, the basic purpose of his is to, by research, to know the background in which he wishes to set his narrative for accuracy and sensitivity, history of the period in which the fiction takes place, and authenticity of the language. So his intention of making research is this, that he wants to set his character into a certain period of time. So he would like to know the society, the thinking of the people of that time, the language of the people, the way people used to wear different types of clothes, or everything, to make it a real character. So the originality of the novel does not lie in the research, but in the artistic creation for which it provides a background. So here research is just being familiar with that, with the surrounding of the character. Another type of research is made in journalism. Journalists investigate in certain stories. They spend long periods of time in discovering or uncovering certain facts, secret, with their editorial policies judged to be in the public interest. So they cross-check what they are told or discover. They try to establish facts. But this is not usually new truth. Whatever they uncover is not new, but it is a sort of information hidden by, covered by somebody else. So for them, for journalists, the final criterion of truth may be bound up with the legalities, the law of the libel and slander, or official secret act. They are just to produce what conform to all these things. So for journalists, research is just unveiling some facts, some secret. So here research has a different sense. It does not correspond to something new. Nothing new is known. Something is already known, but known by a small number of people, maybe one person. So here research means this. Similarly, research investigation is also found in police work. Here again, the criterion of validity of research is circumscribed by the law of evidence. Whatever is uncovered is judged according to the law, whether it's lawful or unlawful. So here again research has a different meaning, has the first meaning of the two that we discussed. Similarly, in commerce and trade, research is also made. People want to know about the market, people want to know about the product, people want to know about the buyers, they want to have full picture of the whole market. So they also make research. So this research is also not similar to the research that you are required to make when you write your thesis, because here the basic purpose of research is to be able to benefit more from the advantages that may be discovered through this method. So here again research has a different meaning. Research also, especially in the second sense, in the sense where some new thing is known, is made in the field of medicine. This research is, as I said, of the second type. The basic purpose is to find out things nobody knew before. The final criterion is the discovery of new truth, but also the translation of the new truth into practical problems. So here again ethical consideration receive a great deal of attention, both in terms of human patient and the animals which are used for trial. So here we have the second type of sense of the meaning of the word research, which tells us to know something new, to know something which is not known. In science and technology, we all know that everyone associate research with it. Here again some new facts are discovered, but we also have development or advancement in theory. So new things are known in this field. So you see that in these two, science and technology and medicine, we normally use the second meaning of research. So you must know that normally in your thesis stage you discuss this second sense. So by now I'm sure that you must be familiar with what is research. We have gone through a lot about this topic, that what is the research, how it is made. At this stage we need to understand that what is the structure of the thesis or the research paper. It can be divided into three parts. Number one is the prefatory parts, in which we discuss certain things, all those things that we discussed when we were discussing a report. We will separately discuss in this topic, but just think of those things, the list of content, the introduction, etc., etc., whatever comes into this, and the cover page. Here again we need to understand how the title page is made, cover page, and etc. Then we have the main body of the thesis. This main body of the thesis is of importance in our present discussion. It normally consists of 5 parts. Number 1 is introduction. Number 2 is the literature review. The literature review in which we refer to all those material that we have studied and that conform to or correspond to our topic, either in proving it or in refuting it. And then we have the third chapter, that is methodology. Here we explain which method are we going to use in our research. Is it going to be a case study? Are we going to make any qualitative research or quantitative research? Actually, here we use the way we are going to conduct our research. And as I just said it to you, that it's important that here you must, at your proposal stage, you must make yourself familiar with the methodology of your research, whether your method is appropriate to your research or not. So in this section you explain different methods. What are those methods? We will be discussing in detail in the next lecture. Then we come to the fourth stage, that is the topic, that is the chapter which is data analysis. Here we make an analysis of the data that we gathered during our research. We use different method to analyze the data. We will discuss in the due course. And then comes the fifth chapter or fifth part of the thesis, that is conclusion. This conclusion has all the recommendation, has all the suggestion, whatever we have found during our research. So these 5 things are the main parts of the body, starting from introduction to this conclusion. Then we have the conclusion part of this thesis, in which we give bibliography, the sources that we have studied, or any appendices that we want to include, or whatever, all the section that we discuss in the report. So this is the sketch of the thesis or the research paper. These are the important element of a research paper. But how to fill the pages is a very difficult task, and it requires complete understanding of the task. We must know that how to do it. As I said, that we must make ourselves familiar with the think about it stage, and we must make ourselves familiar with synopsis or proposal, and they will certainly help you in practically writing our thesis. Writing thesis is basically one thing which comes with the passage of time, when we practically do the research. Now we have to discuss next thing, that is the main body, beginning with introduction. We will discuss introduction and other parts of the report in our next lecture. So we are through with today's topic, or in today's lecture. We will discuss other aspect of thesis in the next lecture. Until then, Khuda Hafiz.